Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I'm Rose. In today's video I'll be sharing with you guys how to sew this corset, Victoria corset. So the last time we drafted this pattern, but if I will leave the link in the description box. The last time we drafted this pattern, and yeah, today we are going to be cutting it and sewing it. So these are the front pattern piece, and this right here is the back pattern piece. So I'll set it aside and cut out this. Here is the front piece. So these three right here, this three is the back, this is the front. So I'll go ahead and cut my lining off. So this fabric right here is what I'm going to use for the lining, and I'll also cut my paper stay or cloth gum. So guys, I'm done ironing it. So as you can see, this is the main fabric. Here is the main fabric, and this is the lining. So on the fabric, I iron my gum stay on it. So this three here is the front, and this three here is the back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this number one is I cut this number one into two, not unfold. So what I'm going to do now is to take this number one, as you can see, is into two. So I'm going to take it this way, and I'm going to sew it like a pinch. So I'll use my pin to pin it down, and I'll take it to the machine and sew. Pinning it down, this is what it looks. This is how it's going to be, as you can see. Can you see it, guys? So I'll quickly take it to the machine and sew it, and I'll be right. Alright guys, here is the number one that I cut into two, not unfold. I'm already done sewing the number one, and I'm done sewing the number one of the lining as well. I'll put this aside. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take number two, which is this. So I'm going to take one of these, and then I will pin it down. So I'll take this to the machine and I'll sew it. This is what it looks after pinning it down. So I'll also pin down this second one of this number two, which is this. So now it's remaining the number two of the lining. This is what it looks like after sewing it. So I only pin it down. So I'll take it to the machine and I will stitch on it. Alright guys, we are done with number one and number two. So we have to put this aside. So after sewing it, this is what it looks. What I have here is number 1 and number 2. So here is the lining. Here is the lining of number 1 and number 2. The next thing I'm going to do is to take number 3. Remember, I'm doing what I'm sewing now is the front pattern. So this is the number 3. And then I'll go ahead and pin it down. Pinning it down, this is what it's going to look like. And I'm pinning down the other side of the number 3, which is this one. So I'll do the same thing to the number 3 of the lining. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are done with the number 3 of the front pattern, as you can see. So we'll put that aside. So here is the front part of the Victorian corset, as you can see. Can you guys see it? Though I've not ironed it out yet. So here is the front part of the Victorian corset. So I'll bring in the lining. So here is the lining of the front part of the Victorian corset. So I discovered that at the bottom of at the down part of the lining, one is longer than one. So please feel free to shape it out to make it equal. So right now I'll set this aside. So guys, here is the back pattern of the back piece of the Victoria corset. So what I'm going to do now is to pick one of this number 1. This is the number 1, and I'll pick one of the number 2. And I'll pin it down. I'll also do the same thing to the lining. I'll pick one of the lining of number 1, and I'll pick one of the lining of number 2. And I'll also sew it. I'll pin it down and I'll sew it. So guys, here is the lining of the number 1 and number 2 of the back piece. So here is the material of the number 1 and number 2 of the back piece. So right here, I discovered that I'm having some excesses at the down parts of the material and the lining. So I'm just going to trim it out. So now I'll pick I'll go ahead and do the same thing to the second one of the number 1 of the material. You know, I cut them into 2. I'll do the same thing for both of them and the lining. So guys, now that we are done with the number 1 and number 2 of the back piece, so we are going to move to the number 3 of the back piece. So I'm going to take one of these for this. You know, this is number 1 and this is number 2 of the back piece. So you're not going to add anything to this side any longer. So you are just going to bring the number 3 here and pin it down. Side will be for the loop. I've not ironed it yet, guys. I just want to finish with what I'm doing before I'll iron it out. To this, I'll take the other one of the number 3, and then I'm going to add it to this place, not to this side. This side is the number 1, and the number 1 is going to be where we are going to fix the loop. Then here is the number 2. So what I will do now is to add the number 3 to the number 2. I'm just going to pin it down. So this is how it's going to look like after sewing it. same thing to this one. This is going to look like after sewing it. Can you guys see it? So here will be for the loop. Let me quickly stitch on it. I'll do same thing. This right here is the lining, so I'm going to do the same thing to the lining. So I'm done sewing the back part of the top of the Victoria corset. So here is the two back side of it. I've not. So guys, I'm done ironing it. Please ignore this thing. There was a write-up on the material, and as I was ironing it, the thing just messed the material up for me. Please ignore it, please. So here is the Victoria corset, guys, and here is the back side so of it. So I'm done ironing it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring the back side and place it on it this way. Am I right? And stitch on it this way. Still the same 0.25 inch. So guys, I'm done joining the two side of the Victoria corset. So here is the top. As you can see, here is the top. I'm loving it. I'm so excited for the outcome of this. Wow. So I'll go ahead and trim off this side. This is it. Am I right? Yes. This is it. So here is the top. So I'll go ahead and notch it and then iron it out again. This is the lining of the Victoria corset. So I've gone ahead to iron it out. So here is the lining. So, and here is the material of the Victoria corset. Please ignore this area of the Victoria corset. I also went ahead. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to place the lining on the material of the Victoria corset, right side facing each other. Is to stitch on it this way, 1/2 inches all the way from here straight down to this side. So I'll go ahead and stitch on it. I'll be right back. So guys, I'm done stitching the lining and the material together, as you can see. So I'm done stitching them together, stitching the down part of it. So right now, this other side, the both side right here, I went ahead to cut out about 1/2 inch because when I was trying it, I discovered that they are too close, as if I'm going to be using zip for it, but I'm using loop. Can you guys see? What I'm going to do now is to add my loops to it. So I'll go ahead. I've already stitched out the rope strap for it, and here is the loop. Here are the loops I'm going to be using. So guys, I'm already done fixing the loops, as you can see on the both side. I'm done fixing the loops, and here is the cup. I didn't put cup, but here is the bust area. So I'll go ahead right now and put fixing the rope. So guys, I'm done fixing the loops, and I'm done fixing the rope. So this is how it looks. Then here is the front. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up as well, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.